गाड़ी क्यों खड़ी हो जाती है?
एक मिनट आसिफ अच्छी भी है मेले में भी स्पेशल डेट स्पेशल डेट
सूर्य समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सिद्धश्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः विघ्नमस्तु हस्ते गुरुचित्रज्ञानाय संकल्पः ओम जले विष्णु स्थले विष्णु विष्णु पर्वतमस्तके ज्वालामाला कुले विष्णु सर्वं विष्णुर्मयं जगता हरि ओम मां विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णोराज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्य अद्य श्रीब्रह्मरोहिणी द्वितीये परार्धे श्री श्वेतवाराहकल्पे वैवस्वतमन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिपतं चरणे जम्बुद्वीपे भरतखण्डे भारतवर्षे आर्यावर्ते देशान्तर्गते ब्रह्मवर्ते देशे पुण्यप्रयागराज क्षेत्रे वैक्रमसिके मोद्धावतारे वर्तमाने षष्ठिसंवत्सराणां मध्ये पिङ्गलनामधेये संवत्सरे मासानां मासोत्तमे मासे सूर्यमाघमासे सुरे शुक्ले पक्षे शुक्लपक्षीयाद्य षष्ठं यां महापुण्यतिथौ भौमवासरान्वितायाम् एवं यथाताराशिस्तान्ते सुसस्सु एवं ग्राहकुलविशेषविशिष्टायां शुभपुण्यतिथौ गोत्रः नाम्नः समस्त प्रतिनिधि भूतोह आवस्मिन् समये मातृवेणी दिव्य भव्य कुंभ सफलता पूर्वक सिद्ध्यर्थ त्रिवेणी पूजन अहं करिष्ये ओम शुभं भवतु शुभानि संभवन्तु ओम जाग्रतो दूरमुदयते नैवल्लदु सुतस्य तथैवयते दूरङ्गमं ज्योतिघां ज्योतिरेकं धन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु ओम पंचनद्याः सरस्वतीमपि अन्धसुत्रोतसः सरस्वती सुवञ्जना सोजसे भवस्सरिता गङ्गे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी स्नानार्थं प्रतिगृह्यता श्रुतिः प्रमाणो स्मृतया प्रमाण पुराणमप्यथ परमो प्रमाण यमुना प्रमाण सती राजो जयते प्रयाग प्रयाग त्वांगन्धर्वाय घनस्त्वामिन्द्रस्त्वां बृहस्पतिः त्वामोखरे सोमो राजाविद्वान्यच्छवादमुच्यता चन्द्रं लेपनं समर्पयामि श्रीशदे लक्ष्मीशपत्न्या अहोरात्रे भार्स्वेन् छत्राणि रूपवस्विनौ व्यात्तं हिरण्यखाडा मुम्बैखाडा सर्वलोकं मैखाडा ओम इदग्गुं हविः प्रजननं मेयस्तु दशभिरग्गुं सर्वगदग्गुं स्वस्ताये आत्मसनि प्रजासनि पशुसनि लोकसन्न भयसनि अग्ने प्रजां बहुलां मे करोत्वन्नं पयोरेतु अस्मासु दत्त मन्मे बसाकर तेरे मूर्ति उतारो ममैया तेरी आरती मांगू तुझसे क्या मैं सोचूं मैया जिंदगी
आप देखम जो है जहां पर की जो संगम स्नान के लिए जो जगह बना है वहां पर पीएम कुछ देर में पहुंचने वाले हैं। तो इस वक्त प्रधानमंत्री बैठ चुके हैं उस नाव में जहां पर की जहां जिसके जरिए उन्हें संगम तक पहुंचना है। और आप देखें कि उनके चारों तरफ जो सुरक्षा कर्मियों की मौजूदगी है वो दिखाई दे रही है। तो यहाँ के बाद का तकरीबन आधे घंटे का उनका कार्यक्रम होगा, जब जो भी धार्मिक रिचुअल्स हैं, जो कि स्नान के बाद के जो पूजा पाठ है वो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी करेंगे। लेकिन लगभग वक्त से पहुंचकर प्रधानमंत्री इस वक्त नाव में बैठ रहे हैं और यहाँ से वो सीधा संगम की तरफ जाएंगे। अगर इस वक्त दिखाएं तो कम से कम संगम के आसपास सभी तरह के नावों के परिचालन पर प्रतिबंध है। और प्रधानमंत्री का ये नाव देखिए निकल चुकी है, प्रधानमंत्री की ये नाव उनको और मुख्यमंत्री प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी पहुंच चुके हैं अरहल घाट पर और अरहल घाट से भी वहां पर सामने नाव में पीएम और सीएम पर पहुंचे और दोनों छोटी सी नाव है, ये कोई बड़ा स्टीमर भी नहीं है और ना ही वो वीवीआईपी बोट है जिसके जरिए लोगों ने पहले देखा है। एक नाव है और उस नाव में बिल्कुल सामान्य सी नाव है और उसमें सिर्फ बैठने की जगह बनी। और देखिए प्रधानमंत्री का ये जो स्टीमर है ये बढ़ चला है संगम की ओर और इसमें कुछ सुरक्षा कर्मी मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ और खुद प्रधानमंत्री मोदी मौजूद हैं। तो यहाँ से कुछ देर में जाते हुए वो सीधा संगम की तरफ उन्होंने रुख किया है, उनके इस स्टीमर ने, उनके इस नाव ने। और उसके जरिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी पहुंचेंगे सीधा संगम पर, जहां पर स्नान करेंगे, उनके कुछ रिचुअल्स होंगे धार्मिक। बहुत मुझे भी लगता है कि बहुत ज्यादा साधु संतों को कहीं बुलाया गया है, सिर्फ पूजा के वक्त कुछ लोगों की मौजूदगी होगी। देखिए आज और किसी भी वीवीआईपी को प्रधानमंत्री के इस कार्यक्रम में नहीं बुलाया गया, यानी कि मुख्यमंत्री के अलावा अमूमन पिछली बार प्रधानमंत्री आए थे तो दोनों डिप्टी सीएम भी मौजूद थे, अगर देखें तो तमाम बड़े अधिकारी मौजूद थे। लेकिन बिल्कुल सादे तरीके से आप देखेंगे तो उनके नाव को भी कोई बहुत ज्यादा सजाया गया हो ऐसा नहीं है, बहुत फूल मालाओं से नाव लादा गया हो उनके नाव को, ऐसा नहीं है, सामान्य सी नाव है। अगर आप देखें तो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी उस नाव में आपको सवार।
The allegation made by the Congress, Ajay Makkan was doing that press conference based on what an individual researcher has now unearthed, is that even the SC community has been marginalized in the education niti, Shiksha niti.
As far as Ajay Makkan ji's press conference is concerned, if you remember, his own party members didn't support him because he was bringing out, all sorts of baseless allegations about Arvind ji's association with terrorism. If you remember, I mean, none of that made sense, right?
Well, that was before the Congress decided that they are going to go after the Aam Aadmi Party and sever all these alliance and India alliance conversations. After that, lot of water has flown under the bridge in the Yamuna.
Right, discrediting Ajay Makkan ji's stance on the whole thing. But that being said, Arvind Kejriwal ji is literally the only chief minister, ex-chief minister rather, and hopefully, the future forthcoming chief minister as well, who openly claims that if work has been done, vote for me on the basis of work. This is one chief minister who has the guts to step down even after respectfully getting a bail from the Supreme Court in a case, by the ED, where in the bail is such a difficult matter. We've seen, how one after another allegations were put forth, and he stepped down. He put up Atishi ji on the chief minister's post because he wants to come back with the people's mandate, with the people's majority. So it is a party with a difference. All of that has not changed. The work on the ground
Interesting that you say that Arvind Kejriwal put Atishi there. He didn't say that it was the cabinet decision and it was the Aam Aadmi Party that collectively decided to ensure that it is Atishi who replaces Mr. Kejriwal till Mr. Kejriwal is absolved of all the charges on him. And he's not got bail respectfully. He's got bail because bail is mandatory, jail is optional as far as the rule books of our law is concerned, and the charges against him still stand. He's not been, he's neither been convicted nor has he been, absolved of the charges against him. But coming back to these pictures, Prime Minister Narendra Modi right in the middle of the Triveni Sangam, that's the huge spread of waters, yeah.
In the boat that they're traveling, right at the front, you can't see the Prime Minister because of this angle, but right at the front, it's just the two of them. It's just Yogi Adityanath and Prime Minister Modi, and I think they will have enough to talk about, not just in terms of, what are the arrangements for today, but also, let's not forget, it comes in the backdrop of that very, very terrible tragedy that happened.
I think the question that's going to be in everybody's mind is, it's such a vast expanse, and if you see the Sangam nose, it's a huge parcel of land.
Yes.
So the question that everybody is going to ask, and perhaps the Prime Minister would also want to understand, is how could an incident like that happen when there is so much space available?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the questions will be, but these arrangements are elaborate. This is also a statement, Zaka, beyond the politics, the optics of it itself, to have nearly 40 crore people.
Yep.
And that would be perhaps the third largest population in the world,
yeah.
Coming to one particular temporary tent city over a period of about 45 to 50 days. It's a show to the world that people here can combine together, come together in peace, in harmony for a spiritual quest, and India can organize it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think no doubt about it. It's a testament to the arrangements that have been put in place by the UP administration, the Allahabad administration. I believe there are special commissioners who've been assigned just the role of organizing the Kumbh. And like you said, 38 crore, they were looking at 40 crore. But I think by the end of the month, 25th, 26th is when the Kumbh gets over. I think you might even touch up to 50 crores. So I think it's important to underline that, it's a massive humanity. Let's be very clear about it. It's a massive humanity that's turned up there at Prayagraj for the Kumbh. Of course, unfortunately, the stampede did happen on the occasion of Mauni Amavasya. Hopefully, the lessons from there have been learned. The district administration there has made quite a few changes. You can only now move in a one-way direction. No vehicles are allowed at the city centre. I believe a lot of the middle part of the city is accessible only by foot. So all of those changes are good. There are directional changes that have been made in the traffic as well. Two-way roads have been made one way. So all of that is good. Hopefully it should have been done before such an unfortunate incident happened. But hopefully, like I said, people have drawn the right lessons from it. You can see as the boat is now speeding towards the Triveni Sangam, the Sangam nose as it's known, there are crowds. I think those are crowds on the other side of the ghats, behind the boats where the banks of the three rivers, the Ganga, Yamuna and the Saraswati meet. That's where you can see the crowds.
Yeah, that is actually the Sangam nose. So where you see the sea of the lot of crowds people, there, people there, that is the Sangam nose. And what we are given to understand that night, that fateful night around 12:30, 1 a.m. is that right at the banks, because they wanted to be the first to take the dip during Mauni Amavasya early in the morning, there were a lot of people who, against the advice of the local authorities and despite repeated reminders, had decided to sleep in the open at the banks. So when those barricades broke, people fell on each other and a lot of them were sleeping there, and that's what caused this. So now I think that's been now stopped, and there is no way at any point in time that anybody can sleep around the Sangam nose in that bank area. Now the Prime Minister, this is the far side. That is so what we are seeing now, these are the cameras at the Arail Ghat. So this is the Arail Ghat area. You get onto the boat and then you go to the Sangam nose, and you approach the Triveni Sangam area via boat. So that's what's happening. So that's where all the akhadas and their tents are on the other side. So the main 13 Juna, the akhadas, including the Juna akhadas and some of the other akhadas, they have their tents on the Sangam nose area. The Kalpwasis, that means those who are going to stay right through the period of the Kumbh, about 10 lakh of them, they are also going to be there in those tents and in that area. Other than that, it's the daily visitors who are coming. So as of now, we are counting down to 11 a.m., just 7 minutes to 11 a.m. Nearly 50 lakh people have taken the holy dip, including 10 lakh Kalpvasis this morning. So there is a steady flow of people. What needs to be appreciated is the arrangements have just grown in scale and have become so much more elaborate that those who thought going to Kumbh is dangerous today want to go to Prayagraj, and they also want to, it's also accessible. So not just Prayagraj, because they say the flight tickets have really soared. So you can go to Varanasi and you can drive. From Patna, it's a 5-hour drive. The option to go to Ayodhya is there. The option to come to Delhi and then drive down from Delhi, where it's a 6 to 7 hour drive. So all of this allows people to congregate at Prayagraj, and from Prayagraj, a lot of them are then heading to Ayodhya, heading to Varanasi. So they are also seeing record attendance and footfalls. And this will only go up around the Maghi Purnima date and also close to Shivratri, that is around the 26th of February, where many could come on the 25th, take a dip and then head to Varanasi for Shivratri on the 26th.
This spiritual connection, you could call it, albeit in a political context, because it is happening on the day that Delhi votes. But this is something that Prime Minister has stressed on even in his diplomacy. When he became Prime Minister first in 2014, he was very insistent about the Ramayan circuit, about the Buddh circuit. He's used this to sort of expand India's influence and reach in Southeast Asia. We had the Indonesian president who came for the Republic Day, and he made that famous speech where he said, "I tested my DNA is Indian," and he started singing some old Hindi film songs, etc. Again, the connection with Ramayan and Indonesia is well known, and these are things that Prime Minister has sort of revived since he came to office in 2014. And if you look at some of the holiest places of Hinduism, including Banaras, where he's MP from now for the third term, the way it has transformed in the last 10 years, I think it's quite phenomenal. Same goes with Prayagraj as well. Just the sheer scale of having 40, 50 crore people come there over a month and a half and take the holy dip, the snan as it's known, is in itself a logistical challenge. And there you see just the two of them. It's just the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister right up front at that little boat that they're taking from the Aral Ghat to the Triveni Sangam nose, which is the holiest place where the three rivers join in unison. And that's where, and I think the PM is asking about some arrangements to the UP Chief Minister, and he's giving him the lowdown. And you can see there are people, not just at the Sangam, but in the neighboring ghats as well. You can see people who have come there.
Gone already?
Well, I mean, no, I haven't gone. I'm here because you called me to the studio this evening for another Maha Kumbh happening in Delhi, which is a different kind of Kumbh. And it's quite exciting. But I saw some of those videos. It's just too crowded, to be honest. And I don't know. I mean, I wish there was a way, but we have a big country of crores of people, and they all want to go. So it's not nobody's fault really. And there's only one place, like you said, once in 144 years. And even in those 144 years, the certain days are more special, isn't it? For the snan and everything. So it's not just the entire all the days. Some days are more important. So I think it just like I got a bit scared, to be honest.
Well, I'm going to go. I'm going
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to the experience.
Are you going to take a
Because
full
it's,
dip? Are you going to like go like
of
full
course,
dip,
of
or
course.
are you going to just touch? You know, some people just touch the water on their
No,
head
no, no.
like that.
Cold or not, otherwise, if you are at Kumbh, you have to take the full dip. Like everybody is saying it happens once in 144 years. So how
So
can
we are
you,
going to see
how
a
can
video
you,
of that, you
how
taking a
can
full
you
dip.
let that go? How can you let that go? Well, if there's somebody to take
Okay.
a video, I will put it out. But I am going for sure.
You are in, you work for a
I'm not
TV
missing
channel,
it. I'm not.
and you are saying
I'm not
you
missing it.
work for
I'm
a
not
TV channel
missing
saying,
it.
is there
I'm not
someone to
missing
take a
it.
video? So please do, and please get a few drops of the water for us
Yes,
in the
not
studio,
just the
because
drop,
on
not
8th,
just the drops, because many people say we should take a little bit of the mud or the dhuli there.
Oh.
Why? Because crores of people deeply in spiritual thought have come there, and because there is a confluence of souls. It's not just human bodies, no, it's the Atma, it's the soul. So the thought process is that spiritual depth there and the spiritual intensity of that place is going to be so huge that it's a once in a lifetime experience. So,
But if I can ask Chetan, so I mean, obviously, let's not underplay the context or the timing of this. Prime Minister has a sense of political timing. That's why he's been in power for the last 10 years. Every time there's a critical election day, he finds a way to sort of place himself in the public consciousness. Today it's at Kumbh. You remember when the general elections were happening, after the campaigning got over, he went off to Kedarnath. Again, do you reckon any of this actually makes a difference to even 1% voters, swing voters who may not be enthused to come out and vote? In Delhi, for example, at least in the first couple of hours, the voting has been pretty thin in single digit voter percentage wise. But do you think this has a political sort of fallout as well?
for the Lok Sabha election, I think when he went to Rameshwaram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those, and then that was a different kind of trip. He went for meditation and he went away. And I don't know if it was political. Maybe it does get too much. I mean, if you're doing this job, imagine the number of rallies he does. And when the finally voting is happening, you just want some peace. And that's his preferred choice. If it has a political benefit, I mean, okay, that's good. That's just who he is. And I think he is and I'm not just saying it like siding. I think he is a person who believes, who's a big faith believer, and he would have gone to the Kumbh anyway. Now, in terms of the timing, is it going to help in Delhi? I doubt because if he's gone today, he would have gone like a few days back. Like by the time today is actually the voting day. So I don't think in Delhi it will have such a big impact. Delhi politics isn't about Hindutva politics as much anyway. I think the issues here, as we know, are Arvind Kejriwal, who's the blue-eyed boy of Delhi, and he's like literally somebody who has taken on the BJP here very well, and of course now the new tax-free country we have. Movies used to get tax-free. Now, like people are tax-free. So I think that will have an impact. I think how much does this have an impact? I don't think so. And I would not be so cynical. I know there will be people who will say, "Oh, he's going to," but like there's an election in India every week. So I don't think a place like Delhi has an impact. If it was UP, this is happening in UP and there's a UP election, maybe you can say okay. But Delhi, people are having other issues.
No, Delhi, there are a lot of voters who are actually heading to Prayagraj after casting their vote. We actually spoke with them early this morning at some of the voting booths.
Including you.
My vote is in Noida. My vote is in UP. So, उसमें तो अभी time है. But the other thing is, if you look at the Prime Minister's schedule, First was the budget and third, and before that there was his calendar was packed. We are given to understand that between the 5th and the 7th, these are the only dates that he had, because 8th is result in Delhi. So clearly 9th and 10th there will be, if the mandate is in favor of the BJP, he will be required. The parliament session is currently on, and then thereafter he takes off to France. He's going to France on a
10th.
trip. On the 10th he's off to France. So this was the only window which was there, and there is a possible trip to the US, so we don't know. But this was the only window. Date got confirmed. Well, and if there is political opportunism that's being seen, then people who want to see it will see it. Akashdeep Muni, once the dust settles here in Delhi, are you going to head towards Kumbh? It's been hectic.
Supporters and workers went to Kumbh recently. So it will be my privilege, and I will be lucky enough to head to Kumbh and take the holy dip. But today, Anand, the biggest question is that while the
कही सकती कि भी उपासना करते हुए नजर आएंगे, तो आपने देखा कि किस तरह से न्यूज 18 ने आपको दिखाया कि
बिल्कुल न्यूज 18 के कैमरे से हम दिखा रहे हैं अपने दर्शकों को प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी संगम में डुबकी लगाते हुए, जहां पर सबसे पहले उन्होंने वस्त्र धारण चेंज किया है और अंग वस्त्र लिया और फिर त्रिवेणी में उतरे, और वहीं पर बड़ी संख्या में लोग जो तट पर मौजूद हैं वो प्रधानमंत्री का अभिवादन करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं और उत्साह लोगों में है। प्रधानमंत्री को बेहद करीब से ये लोग देख पा रहे हैं। हमारे सहयोगी राजीव के
Well, so I think the Prime Minister has stepped down, he's changed, and then he stepped down to have take a dip at the Sangam. There it is. Those are the pictures. The Prime Minister getting down. There are waiting crowds who are looking at the Prime Minister. A lot of the people who are taking their dip at the ghats, they can peek through to the other side, and they can see the Chief Minister, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath present there. Wonder why the cameras are panning away from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is actually to the left, where he's down in the waters. And he should be. So I think the priests are also waiting. He's gone in to take to change. I think that's what's happened. He's not yet taken a dip.
What's the procedure?
The procedure, you obviously will take off the clothes that you're wearing, and then you wear. Generally, a lot of them wear saffron, or you wear a simple cloth, and then you go down. You offer your prayers, and you're supposed to take 3 dips.
Okay.
So the full dip is thrice. So it's 3 dips. You're actually supposed to be chanting a few mantras, and each of the dip is dedicated to, one is to your ancestors, one is to your gurus, and one is to the devatas, and you're asking them to cleanse you and cleanse your soul of all their bad karma, and to uphold and add to your good karma. So it's the karma phala, or the karmic fruits, that you're actually praying for, and that reduces the weight on the soul, and that's why the soul is elevated. So that's the philosophical thought process of why you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be healing you, not just mentally, physically, but also in terms of mind, body and soul at all 3 levels. So that's what the Prime Minister will be doing, and then you pray to the sun. The sun is the source of our energy. So that's the Prime Minister walking into the water, going right to the center. He is fully clothed, so he's wearing an overall like he usually does. It's a grey overall that he prefers, or a saffron overall, and then above that there is a small towel on his shoulder. So that's how it is. He's going to be standing there, and then he will take 3 dips. We've just had a freeze there in the pictures. He will take 3 dips, and he will be facing towards the sun, and he will offer ablutions to the sun, or arghya as it's called, and he will make the prayer. Now the sun, why the sun? Sun is the source of all energy. It's the source of life on planet Earth. It's the source of energy, and for humanity, even though it's a ball of gas, it is also seen as the one that charges our batteries. So that's the whole idea of praying to the sun at a time when its radiation is the least. So it's already, today he must have picked a Muhurt, which is good because it's a Gupta Ashtami, and that's why he has timed it. You tend to do it early in the morning. when the radiation of the sun is the least and the curative potency of the light, sun's light, is at the highest. That's what you generally do, and that's why Ishtadev or Surya is as one of the potent elements, the source of all energy for earth is prayed to. So you offer your prayers to the three rivers because you are standing at a confluence of three rivers. So there is Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, and then of course to Surya Dev, and then you do your three dips, and then you chant to whoever is your Ishtadev, whoever you pray to, you chant, and you can stand there and do your chants, take your dip, and then you come out, and then on the ghats he will do another round of puja. So that's these are the pictures live from Prayagraj as the Prime Minister is taking a holy dip at the Kumbh. There he is, the Prime Minister, walking up right to where he can, to the levels. We should have more pictures coming through. And you see, these are all the cordoned off areas where the flow of the water is not so strong and the water is only knee deep. Arun Dhanta joining us live. Yes, Arun.
Well, that's right, Anand. Prime Minister Modi and Yogi Adityanath have arrived at Triveni Sangam, and in fact, Prime Minister is going to take the holy dip. And let me quickly show our viewers that how people are actually going and coming from the Sangam. On that side, you have the huge line of those devotees who are going towards the Sangam. They are yet to take the holy dip. Look at the joy in their faces. Look at the crowds which is moving towards. And on this side where I am,
these are pictures. Let's go full screen to the pictures of the Prime Minister taking the dip. These are exclusive to CNN News 18 and the News 18 network. And there you go. That's right at the center where the Prime Minister will be there. His official team, the videography team, the camera persons, and also the photographers are also there. And they are circling him. So we will get the pictures, the frontal pictures also in a bit. But that's where that's the VIP card. So that's where Yogi Adityanath and his entire cabinet also took the dip. Amit Shah also stepped down from there and took a dip there along with Yogi Adityanath. Interestingly, it's only the Prime Minister who stepped down today. And the last time around also, when he was there at the ghats taking the dip, it's a similar ritual. He is a Shiv Bhakt himself, so he has the Rudraksha Mala around him, so he does his round of chanting, prayers. He prays to the rivers, he prays to the sun and also to Mahadev. And then
in fact, he had taken the holy dip, I think, before the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya.
Yes.
And similarly, when the temple in Varanasi was inaugurated again, he had taken the dip at that time.
The dip. The idea is to cleanse yourself. The idea is to cleanse the mind, body and soul at this confluence of the three rivers, and then with a pure heart and a pure mind, go to the temple to pray. So he said that he prayed for the well-being of the country and its people, and he wanted to pray for progress. That's what he did at that time. This time we'll see what the Prime Minister's message is. But for each person, it's either self or society or humanity, but somewhere the connection is spiritual, Zakat. So that's what it is. And the Prime Minister seems to be very comfortable. There are people who do it because it's good for optics. But for him, we've seen over the last many years, he's comfortable in his skin doing what he's, because he believes this is a practice for him. And it's been a practice for him right from the times he was a pracharak at the RSS. He used to actually play the Nagada at the local temple in Vadnagar. That's how his childhood, he's grown up. So there's a huge, deep spiritual content or connect for him all through his life. So even the days of emergency and all, he used to pray regularly at the Gurdwara when he was living, as a Sardar, and he was in the Gurdwara. He would do seva at the langars. He would offer, and then he would continue to pray. So this aspect of prayer and spirituality is not something which is second skin to him. It is
in his own skin.
Yeah.
But I just want to also bring it back to the political context of this. Chetan is still with us, and so is Akashdeep Muni. These pictures, of course, will be splashed across screens, not just in the national capital, but across the country. Tomorrow's newspapers are going to have this as the lead story. Do you think, Chetan, this will have or move the political needle in any way, at least as far as the Delhi election is concerned, or do you think the timing and the date of it is merely coincidental and has nothing to do with politics?
I think it was Freud who once said, Like sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. You don't have to. It's just like the person just described, that he is a man of faith. There's a holy Kumbh happening once in 144 years. At some point, he would have gone and taken a dip. If he had taken it any time in the last week or any time in the campaign of Delhi, people could have said, "Oh, it's happening for the Delhi elections." But that's I think a bit too cynical. And firstly, nobody's stopping Rahul Gandhi from taking a dip. Nobody's stopping Arvind Kejriwal from taking a dip. And if they want to do it, they can do it. And that will
Why
also
do you think that is? Why do you think they haven't gone yet?
I don't know. It's very hard to speculate. It's all if have they not gone for political reasons, or is it that they don't feel the need to go? It's okay. We should not judge. I have not gone. I just felt it was too crowded, and that's absolutely fine, I think, for people.
Yeah, but you're not a politician.
Not
I mean,
like
you don't need to.
No, I mean, I'm a Hindu. No, I know. And some of us, Zaka, some of us I have too many sins. I don't think one dip is going to clean them. That's a separate discussion. I'm just saying we shouldn't judge. You don't become more superior by taking a dip. It's just an act of faith, and I don't think there's any elitism about it. But at the same time, I do believe that. I mean, who has been God kinder to? I mean, the Prime Minister has won 3 times Prime Minister. I mean, God has been bestowed all the blessings on him. If he will not be a man of faith, who will? So I think he is a human being, and at the end of the day, yes, sometimes it may, but taking a dip in the Mahakumbh, crores of people are taking it. So to say that, but he is taking it because of that, I think it's a bit unfair. I mean, it doesn't look like what is the impact on Delhi election? It doesn't really have. I mean, who's going to say, oh, he took a dip, I'm voting for him? I mean, how many people in Delhi are thinking that way right now? And like you're saying, people haven't even gone and voted. So guys, those who are watching this in Delhi, please go out and vote.
Yeah, that's their duty. That's their fundamental
duty. That is
democratic
also,
duty. This is a spiritual quest. So that quest can happen once the voting duties have happened. It's a working day in Delhi. Akashdeep Muni, Chetan Bhagat believes iska Delhi election में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, because Delhi का voter has already decided.
I partially agree with Chetan ji that इसका दिल्ली के elections पे इतना असर नहीं पड़ेगा, पर साइलेंस पीरियड में ऑफ कोर्स प्रधानमंत्री जा रहे हैं और 24/7 टीवी पे दिख रहे हैं, इसका ये इंटरेस्टिंग है. पर दिल्ली का जो वोटर है वो सिर्फ काम की राजनीति में भरोसा करता है. दिल्ली के वोटर सोचता है कि नहीं, कौन मुझे, बुजुर्गों को कौन कुंभ में भेज रहा है, बुजुर्गों को कौन अयोध्या यात्रा करा रहा है, बुजुर्गों को कौन 4 धाम की यात्रा करा रहा है, वो अरविंद केजरीवाल है. फ्री बिजली, फ्री पानी, 24 घंटे बिजली, ये सारे अरविंद केजरीवाल दे रहे हैं.
गिरि संता भिचाय कसी जामे गिरि संत हस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवांगिरि तरतांकुरुमा हि गुंसी पुरुखं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरि साचा बदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदा यच्मा गुंसो मना असत अधियवोचदाधिवक्ता प्रथम दैव्यो भिखक अहिंच सर्वंजं भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु संडः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देवसवितद्दुरितानि परशुभं जद्वदरन्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव उतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्र शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते बिवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे न वचसा त्वागिरिसाक्षा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंश्च सर्वं जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु सण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जडवदरान्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव उतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते बिवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे न वचसा त्वागिरिसाक्षा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंश्च सर्वं जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु सण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जडवदरान्तर्न जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते बिवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे न वचसा त्वागिरिसाक्षा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंश्च सर्वं जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु सण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जडवदरान्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव उतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते बिवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे न वचसा त्वागिरिसाक्षा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंश्च सर्वं जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरुषण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विषवानिदेवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जन्मदरान्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव भूतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरिसा च वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदाधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंच सर्वञ्जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरुषण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विषवानिदेवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जन्मदराकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरिसा च वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदाधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंच सर्वञ्जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरुषण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विषवानिदेवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जन्मदरान्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव भूतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरिसा च वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदाधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंच सर्वञ्जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरुषण्डः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विषवानिदेवसवितर्दुरितानि परशुभ जन्मदरान्तर्न अशुभ हरिः ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यव भूतोत इघवे नमः बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः जाते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनीतया नस्तन्वा सन्तमया गिरिसन्ताभिचाकसीः जामिखुङ्गिरिसन्तहस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरितरतां कुरु मा हि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरिसा च वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदायच्मगुं सोमना असत अधियवोचदाधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंच सर्वञ्जम्भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु संडः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः विषवानि देवसवितद्दुरितानि परशुभं जद्वदरा कसी जामि कुंगिरिसंतहस्ते विवर्खस्तवे शिवांगिरितरतां कुरुमा हि गुंसि पुरुखं जगत शिवे नवचसा त्वागिरिसा च बदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदा यच्मगुंसो मना असत अधियवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिखक अहिंस सर्वं भय सर्वासु जातु धान्यो धराचिः यतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं गुरु